Welcome to Freeform Radio on the Freeform Network. You can follow us on Facebook at Freeform Network, under X at FFR Podcast. And remember to send your questions and suggestions to ffnquestions@gmail.com. Hit us up there with requests, comments, whatever. That's how we communicate with a lot of you guys. And we appreciate those emails. Again, it's Freeform Radio. We got Danny.
Yes, sir, man. Here chilling. Beautiful day yesterday. Sounds like it's gonna be a beautiful day today, so hopefully we'll get it rocking.
Good. And then we got Noel.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Excited to be here for this episode. Got a lot to share, so thank you for joining us.
And it's all good, Andy. We want to thank you guys for joining us, man. As the back to school season's coming down, I know people are gonna get busy with the back to school and the fall's just around the corner. Football, everything's just around the corner. That here in the Midwest, why we love the fall. But let's get the ball rolling. Let's go to Noel this week. I see he watched the highest grossing opening movie ever, right? I don't know if it's been adjusted for inflation, but what do you think of the new Spider-Man movie?
So I just watched this yesterday and watched at the Ultra screen, so the huge screen. It's not the Screen X, so it's not the one with the immersive three screens. It's just the one large one. But it was a really good experience. Very entertaining movie. Not perfect by any means. I do think the money it's made is coming off the backs of the previous films that set it up, including all the Avengers movies, because this does follow the same main character, Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, who has been in tons of the Marvel movies at this point. So he's an established character who's probably gotten possibly some of the most screen time out of all the superheroes, I would say at this point. This is the fourth movie in his standalone franchise, but he's been in the Avengers stuff as well, and in Captain America: Civil War as well. So, very entertaining movie. Right now, it's got an 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb, and like you said, Andy, it's made tons of money. It's over $1 billion gross worldwide. I think this is the second weekend at the time of this recording. So when we upload this,
Yeah.
it would be a month out. So the numbers could be even much higher. But as of the time of this recording, which is August 9, $1.25 billion gross worldwide.
Yeah, they're saying it did more than Endgame, right? And then I haven't seen it. I didn't. I know Spider-Man's really popular. Um, yeah, it's interesting to see. It's interesting to see and read all uh, the reaction of people going to the theater. And my thing is, why didn't they release it earlier? I don't know why they released it at the end of July and or early August. I feel like it should have been like a Memorial Day drop, but hey, what do I know? But yeah, it's people, the fans reacted to it quickly, and a lot of people have given it good reviews.
Yeah, I would give it a good review as well. There's some things that I'm going to talk about. Do you guys mind spoilers? Are you guys like averse to spoilers for this one, or
I
Yeah,
don't,
I think it's so
I'm
new. I
good.
think you keep it spoiler free. It's so new.
okay? Um, I mean, it kind of makes it difficult to really criticize it without giving the spoilers. The best that I can say is there's a villain that is formerly a hero from other previous movies and previous comics that in this movie is almost seemingly like a different character. Was not what I was expecting. Um, I'm not gonna spoil who it is. I'm just gonna say it's a X-Man or X-woman, however you want to call it now. I don't know what they're doing with the whole wording of this stuff, but it threw me
Pronoun.
off. Yeah, I know, right? It threw me off though. Seeing that character threw me off, and having them be a villain in this movie, although they try to justify it, and that's kind of my complaint about it, is some people get hurt, And if it's a man that hurts other people, they're villainized, they're evil, they're bad, right? If it's a woman that does it, well, she has her reasons. That's kind of how this goes in this movie. And it's not a surprise. Double standards have existed for already, I don't know, millennia probably. But it just kind of throws it up again. Like here it is, guys are bad, women, they could be bad, but they're still good. It's just like, okay, all right. But they do it in an entertaining way, which is, I still enjoyed the movie. It was still cool. It does not explain too much about why this well, I wouldn't even want to say former hero because they haven't had the opportunity to be a hero yet. This is their younger version, and we've only seen this character as an adult, as an established character, adult, part of the X-Men. And so this younger version of that character, it kind of threw me off. I'm curious to see what they're gonna do. For sure, this character's gonna play part in the X-Men reboot. That is gonna play part in probably Doomsday, I think. We'll see. It does leave room for redemption. It's not like just pure hatred and evil. It was very much calculated, like why this character was doing what she was doing. And Spider-Man, being Spider-Man, he is on the side of good. So at the beginning, he's trying to, defeat her, right? But then he realizes there's a reason she's doing what she's doing and actually starts to help her. And so there is a little bit of redemption, but people still got hurt. Innocent people still got hurt. So it's one of those things like, how do you look at it? And the best way that I could look at it is kind of like Loki. Loki in Avengers #1, or even if you go back to the Thor movies, Loki is kind of a villainous character. He's constantly looking out for himself. He's a narcissist. He's number one. Everybody else is beneath him. So he's very much that character throughout most of the movies until towards the end, the Avengers War and Endgame. He kind of turns things around and starts to have like a heart, you could say. And in the standalone show of his Loki, he won people over again. So there is room for redemption. So that's why I'm not like bashing it, but it threw me off. I did not expect that. I thought the villain was going to be something already like an established Spider-Man villain, like Doc Ock or Rhino or something like that, right? Sandman, because we haven't seen some of these villains, or Venom. We haven't seen some of these villains, and with the Sony and Marvel partnership, I was hoping for something like that. But I still, it's not that I was disappointed. I just was again thrown off. I still really enjoyed it. It's a little bit of a longer movie, not too much longer, but it's 2 hours 25 minutes.
Oh
It's
wow,
got
it's an
it's
epic,
got
man. Yeah, if it's
yeah,
two and a
right.
half hours.
Yeah, it's a bit of a longer one. I had to really hold in the urge to go and pee. I'm glad I didn't drink too much water, but I kind of anticipated it, so it wasn't too bad to hold it in. But it just prepare yourself if you do go see it. Don't drink a ton of water before. Maybe in the middle of it, you can start drinking some water. But yeah, it's a bit of a longer one. Again, if you've seen the other Spider-Man movies, you know that the last one he made everybody forget who he is. So this one he kind of feels like he's alone, and you do feel that sense of loneliness. Um, he does start undergoing some changes. Very reminiscent of the 90s animated series. There's a moment where he starts to transition, and it's an uncontrollable transition that he tries to control. So you get that aspect in this movie. Again, I'm trying to be spoiler free, but people that watch the animated series and read the comics, they're gonna know what I'm talking about. Um, and it's no surprise, Punisher's in this. It was already rumored and talked about for a long time. His impact on it is good. He has some really cool scenes in there that add more emotion to it, and you get to hear him grunting while he's unloading magazine after magazine, which is funny. It's cool to see who he does it against. Again, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's another cool Avengers character that makes an appearance. Of course, you see his regular friends in there. And overall, I'm just going to wrap it up with this. I do think it's worth watching. It's an entertaining movie, good cinematography, good acting. The only criticism I'd give it would be that it didn't go into too much detail about the villain, and we don't know what's going to happen after this with that villain. And I'm just curious. It's probably all by design. It's just how it works with Marvel and Disney. But yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, there's a lot of hype. I'm shocked it did so good, to be honest with you. But I think that goes back to more of the character Spider-Man and this current actor that's playing him. Um, because it's been I'm trying to remember Tobey Maguire and then the Garfield guy in this one, and it's pretty successful. And then Sony tried to do its own Spider-Verse, and I think he made a cameo in one of the Venom movies, but they didn't show it, but it sounded like on one of the extras on the home video releases, because Marvel was against it. But yeah, it's good to see how long they're going to keep it going.
Yeah, I watched it and I thought it was a great movie. It I think the character, like you're alluding, it is different, but I kind of heard rumors about it, so I was kind of expecting it. But yeah, I thought it was a good movie overall, good story, good continuation. A little different as far as his voice. You could hear a more of a matureness, so it's hard to believe that he just graduated high school and he's like late teens. But yeah, putting that aside, I think it was a good movie. My wife enjoyed it. My son really enjoyed it as well. So definitely a good movie out there.
Yeah, I would say I give it a solid 7.3 out of 10. Um, if they had explained more of the villain and more of why they acted like a villain, I think I would have enjoyed it more. They kind of leave that just still up in the air. Like there's not too much info given on that.
Well,
And
it
yeah,
she's a villain because the sister got killed. So
but
that's why she's
why?
a
Yeah, but why? Like, who are those people? Why did they kidnap her? Is this to do with
oh
Is this to do
that
with X-Men? Is this to do
yeah,
with
that's
like
that's to entice you to come see X-Men 1 or Spider-Man 5 or whatever it's gonna be. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah. You like you said, it's 2.5 hours. They can't make it 3.5 hours to put more and more. It's like they have to cut it somewhere and leave some for the
Is
next.
Lord of the Rings extended cut or what?
There you go.
Yeah, no, you're right. It would have been longer. I guess that's my main criticism though. It's like trying to figure out like what are they gonna do with this now? And now we gotta wait who knows how many years to see. But
Right.
but yeah, I mean that was it. That was the Saturday for me. It was enjoyable. And it was cool to get to go to the movies. I don't get to go too often. There's not too much that entices me. I think the last one I saw was Hokum. It was a horror movie. But this one in the DLX screen, really good experience. I do recommend anyone that hasn't seen it. By the time this comes out, it'll probably still be in theaters. I think a month out, it's still probably in there. So I do recommend it. Anybody that hasn't seen it, check it out. That's it for me, though. Let's move it on to Daniel here and keep it in line with the Marvel stuff going on. It looks like you watched Daredevil Reborn. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I like you, I heard that Daredevil was going to be possibly on the Spider-Man movie, as well as Punisher as a character in the Daredevil Reborns. So I'm like, I want to catch up. So I rewatched the Daredevil Reborn season one, season two, and I didn't put it on here, but I also watched that Punisher One Last Kill or One Last Shot or whatever it's called, that standalone movie, which that one was a short one. That was like a long episode. I think it was like an hour and 20 minutes, that standalone. But yes, man, Daredevil, I thought it was a really good TV series for it being made by Disney. I was kind of worried that Netflix magic was not going to be in there, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good story. I was never really a Daredevil comic book reader. I used to read comic books back in high school, and that was not one of the characters that I used to read. But I'll give them this, man. The TV show is really entertaining. I like the polarizing portion of him being an attorney while being a crime fighter. The whole being blind gimmick. I didn't know it was going to be that entertaining,
Gimmick.
but but, but it's cool. It's a cool facet to the show. I really dug it. The only thing I didn't really care was the ending of season two. I thought it kind of ended kind of cheesy. Not sure if you guys watched it, and and it's so fresh. It just ended not too long ago.
So season two of the Disney one or the Netflix one? I don't
Yeah,
know.
the reborns are the Disney ones.
Okay, yeah, I didn't watch none of them, so I don't know. I didn't.
yeah, the,
I know you mentioned they brought it back. I didn't know it lasted or it's two seasons.
I believe they're tacked on to do three, but season one I thought ended well. The whole series was good. Season two was good as well, but the ending of season two I didn't really care for. It came to the climax, and then it was kind of too bland, and I was just like, "What? I don't get it." But anyways, I enjoyed it. Was watching it to get ready for the Superman movie, and I'm glad I did. Or Superman, Spider-Man movie, and I'm glad that I did because there was parts like Noel had mentioned of Punisher, no Daredevil. Unfortunately, I was kind of hoping to see that somewhere in there, but no, he didn't show up. But yeah, really enjoyable. But yeah, is it something that you watched, Noel, knowing that you're going to watch Spider-Man?
Uh, I've been a fan of the original show for the Netflix one of Daredevil. I thought that was like a quality show. It had decent acting and story, so I definitely wanted to watch Born Again and see how it would be. And the first season, I really liked it. I like Frank Castle, the character, so I liked having him in the first season and seeing him fight again with Daredevil. Um, Season two, like you said, it wasn't quite the same. Um, it was cool to see Kingpin, but they kind of went in a different direction than I thought it was going to be. And yeah, the ending, it kind of leaves something to be desired. Although it's got a high review on the last episode, it's got a 9.4 out of 10. It's
Really?
kind of surprising, but
Hmm.
Not in Danny's review.
Which is the most important, Andy. Yeah, the whole ending, like, hey man, let's bro it out. I was just like, nah, I don't like that. I was waiting for like one more epic fight, but I guess they can't do that at the end of every season. I know even for the Disneys, there was that whole grand finale where they're boxing it out and kicking the shit out of each other to their last breath. And I mean, there's only so many times you could do that, but this definitely was not one of my favorite endings. But yeah,
Yeah.
good precursor to Spider-Man. So if you're gonna watch Spider-Man, this might be a good TV show to watch before that. Guys, wanted to give you an update on the Target Pokemon. I don't know if you guys remember a month or so ago, I mentioned how this guy conned me. Well, maybe not conned me, but he asked me to buy some Target cards for him because his son needed it and he's got two kids and he bought one. It's limit one and whatnot. As a quick recap, I ended up buying it for him. He zilled me the money and that was it. Well, I had the day off of work not too long ago. I had a doctor's appointment that I had to take my wife to, and it's a little further down south from where I live. So, as I'm driving in the morning to go take her to the doctor's appointment, there's a Chick-fil-A that's not too far from that Target. So as I'm driving through the parking lot to cut to the Chick-fil-A, I'm passing the Target. And guess who I see standing outside the line waiting for Target to open? It's that guy that was getting me to purchase him the Pokemon. Now, Andy, this is me kind of like putting the story to what I saw, but to be honest, I didn't stop, ask, or investigate. But I believe this guy is a Pokemon, one of those guys that just hunts down Pokemon cards, buys them, resells them, makes a profit. Because to be there that early, with along with two other like teenagers standing outside of Target waiting for it to open, seemed kind of sus. And if I had to guess, yeah, this guy's got some
He
Pokemon
wasn't
racket
there with
going
his
on.
son. Yeah.
No, I didn't see his two kids.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think Noel, you had mentioned that this is like a thing that people do, right?
yeah, it's a crazy hobby, man. There's some really wild people that will lie, cheat, and steal some Eddie Guerrero type stuff to get these cards, man.
Right, right. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's my only little quick update on it. I saw the guy
But what
again.
What did you think then? Like, were you like this guy again, pissed off, or you're like, fuck him? Or like, if you're bringing it up, obviously, did they have some impact on you? Like, what did you think? Like, should I tell people this guy's just a reseller? Or you one of those guys that like he's a reseller? Fuck him.
No, emotionally, it didn't like trigger me or I didn't get upset or anything like that. I mean, everybody's got to do what they got to do to make a dollar, try to survive out there, inflation, the cost of living. He didn't really rob me or like get one over on me. He did lie to me as far as his story to get another box so he can resell it and make 20, 30, 40 bucks on this box. So if that was his crime, lying to me, yeah, he got one over me on that. But yeah, I wasn't mad or anything. I just thought it was, hysterical because he was acting it up, to get me to buy that second one. And
Right.
I gotta imagine he does that con job to, hundreds of people. And does he expect that he will never run into these people ever again? I don't know what the likelihood is, but yeah, passed by, saw him. Sounds like this guy is, or at least I assume I'm coloring the picture here, Andy, but I think he's a Pokemon reseller.
I'm pretty
Uh,
sure he is. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Last thing I bring up is I've been watching some older movies, just kind of hanging out. We've been doing a lot of stuff, going to fairs and going out, but those days that we don't go out and try to have fun before summer's over, we watch movies. And I watched an older one, Deep Impact, Andy. I'm sure you've watched this one. Pretty entertaining. I've seen it a few times before, but rewatched it. Kind of scary to see, like the government hiding it at first. They know of the disaster and they're making plans to try to avert panic and try to save humanity, civilization. And then a reporter thinks that he found like the vice president, or I forgot who she ended up trying to gotcha that person, thinking they were having an affair, but it was actually that there was some secret plan to hoard all this food and all this water and stuff like that for the survival. And then that there's a comet or an asteroid coming that's going to crash onto Earth. But I really enjoyed it. I thought Freeman
It was
plays,
the yeah, Morgan Freeman. Yeah.
yeah, Morgan Freeman. I think he plays a good president on this, and it's really good. I assume you've seen it. It sounds like Andy. Did you enjoy
I
this?
seen it, but it's been so long. I was thinking like, is this one of the Mars movies or is this one where we get hit by an asteroid and Freeman's out there and they're like talking about going into that bunker or leaving or something.
Right.
It's been so long. I want to say it's like I don't know if it's late 90s or early 2000s, but it's been a while since I've seen it. It's not even on cable or TV no more.
Yeah, it definitely is an oldie. Is this one that you've seen, Noel?
Yeah, I saw this a long time ago. I might have rewatched it maybe like 5 years ago, but I've seen it a couple times. Elijah Wood in there. What's her name? Lily Sobieski. Really interesting movie. I always dig the disaster movies. I'm a real big
Hmm.
fan of those kind of style of movies. Yeah, definitely one of the good ones.
Yeah, those were the popular ones in the late 90s, early two. Remember like Volcano in like LA and
Right.
fucking all that shit. But yeah, it's I mean I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, I just remember Morgan Freeman as a president and there's I don't know, I don't want to say was there like a lottery or they're just selected people like this is who's going to keep the human race going, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I think they picked like, if they were going to take 1 million, they picked out like 800 people that were like professionals and people they need,
Yeah.
engineers or whatnot. And then the rest was general public lottery for the rest of the seats that they had available. And yeah, some people didn't get picked, and you saw like families being separated. And as usual, at the end, it's kind of chaos as the doomsday is coming. And then, as usual, there's multiple attempts to kind of try to stop this asteroid from coming. So people get all their hopes up, then it doesn't work, or it does work, and it's like the movie goes on, and I find it really entertaining. But yeah, it's kind of like Armageddon-ish,
Yeah.
except maybe not as much action. It's more drama. The story follows this news reporter, her relationship with her dad, her estranged dad,
Yeah.
and kind of stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
that's right.
I really dug it. I thought it was good. I think she was the wife of Duchovny at the
Yeah,
time.
it was Tia Leone. Yeah. Now
Yeah,
it's all coming back. I remember the whole father thing. Yeah. Yeah, it was Duchovny's ex-wife now, but yeah.
but yeah,
And she was in Bad Boys and a bunch of other crap. Yeah.
yeah. I know she's been in a lot of movies, but really good movie. I enjoyed it. Every now and then it'll pop up on my feed. I'm surfing through Netflix or whatever, looking for a movie, and I'm like, oh, Deep Impact. Let's watch this. So watch that. Along with that, Andy, I also watched Rocky one or two. Um, and man, these just always hit the spot. I was gonna watch three, but I don't know if it was pushing it with Alana. Because to get my wife to watch a boxing movie with Sylvester Stallone,
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of, is she gonna watch it? But yeah, I got one or two through her, and she liked it. She's watched them before, but I didn't want to push it and watch three.
Eh,
Al- Although three is a good one, man, because that's where you got Clubber Lang, Mr. T. But yeah, one or two are definitely those are great
Well,
movies.
I mean, like I said, Rocky is the first one won Oscars. It's a part of American cinema, man. It is one of the I would put it like one of the top 20 movies ever made in America. But just to think about it, they made a movie about making the Rocky movie. I don't know if you've
Oh
seen the
yeah,
trailer,
yeah.
and
Have
I'm
you
just
seen
like,
that?
that's how that story to get what Stallone had to do to get that movie made because he wrote it and he wanted to be the star. To now they made a movie about how he got to that point and I saw the trailer. I mean, it's weird because we all know how Stallone is to see the guy playing him. But I do want to check out that movie. But yeah, Rocky one and two. It's a great underdog story. It's American cinema at its finest. I know it sounds corny, but it's a really really good movie. No matter and think about it, the movies were made in the 70s and
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
still holds up today.
Yeah, for sure. Every time I watch it, it makes me want to go to Philadelphia and go see his statue and go climb up all those stairs. Although I don't think the statue's at the top of
They
the
moved
stairs
it, yeah.
anymore. Yeah, they moved it, but I think it'd be still kind of cool to climb up all them stairs.
Hmm.
I say that now, but I kind of avoid stairs in my age, Andy, but I think it would still
I
be
don't blame
cool.
you. Yeah,
But yeah, I'm glad you brought up that movie because yes, I watched that trailer. Looks really interesting. I love those like kind of biopics
yeah,
showing
yeah.
the story. It looks really cool. Are you a fan of Rocky one and two, Noel?
Uh, I'm a fan of actually four of them, minus the last one. The first four are my favorites. That's the collection that
Right,
I bought. The one that cut out the fifth one with what's it,
Tommy
Tommy was
Gun.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tommy.
Tommy
Yeah,
Gunn. Yeah, no, but I love the first four. I would say my favorite is probably four. And when they came out with the director's cut, I ended up watching that, and it was a longer movie, and it was really good. I liked it a lot.
really. That sounds interesting. Was there some good cut scenes, or what made it better, or do you remember?
Yeah, there's a few extra things in there, but they also cut out some parts, I think, with the robot or whatever, the unnecessary
Oh,
fluff. It was just a better, well put together movie that had more emotional impact, especially well, spoilers for those that haven't watched it, but Apollo dies, and so it's just more impact of that, and then how he rebounds and comes back. But every movie, I like them all though. One, two, three, four, those are all great. Mickey was phenomenal, and it was Burgess Meredith, really great
right.
actor. Yeah, I love those movies though. Great.
Yeah, no, definitely good ones. And yeah, you reminded me. I did read something about the that Herbie Hancock robot. There was some love story or something in one of the cutscenes. But yeah, totally weird. I'm glad they cut it out. But yeah, Rocky Man, like Andy said, one of those great movies that you can watch at any time. But Andy, speaking of you, let's jump over to your week, man. I see here you wanted to talk about Ozzie Guillén. I saw some headlines. I did not get to watch it, but I've seen video clips popping up on my feed. Probably catch up to it today and watch some of it. Fill us in on Ozzie Guillén having his number retired.
Yeah, so as he played for the White Sox, he was part of that winning ugly season '83. He became the manager years later and won the World Series. So he's currently the White Sox pregame and postgame host, one of two with Garfine. And this year, I think a couple months ago, they announced they were going to retire his number, and that was yesterday. Um, yeah, they brought out everybody, man. It's I think for the White Sox, it was a good retire. I mean, they don't retire a lot of people's numbers, but they retired Ozzy's. Yeah, he got pretty emotional. They had Burley out there. He threw out the first pitch. He gave a good speech. Usually they bring out everybody, and they had a whole bunch of people there. It was a nice turnout at the cell. So everything worked out, man. It was I just want to say it was good to see he not that he deserves it, but I think he earned it. He's definitely a White Sox legend, and he had his whole family out there. I'll give you this. Say what you will about Ozzy, but he loves his family. He had everybody out there, his wife, his sons. I know some people when he was manager, they give him a lot of crap about that, but hey man, he's just taking care of his family. Who wouldn't do that? But yeah, I mean, he got pretty emotional, but he's been emotional through this whole thing. Even when they did the initial announcement, they gave him they didn't make a statue, but they posted
Like a
like
little
a
post or
tribute thing.
something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's nice with the 13. They put 13 on the field on shortstop, in front of the shortstop where the shortstop plays, and the good thing is they won out. The Sox came back and won yesterday because they lost four in a row. Man, they got swept by the Yankees. I was watching the game on Friday night, and I was getting pissed because they couldn't hit shit, and then the pitching just stunk. And then there was this big error in the first inning. Yeah, it was just like, what the fuck's going on, man? It was I couldn't even finish watching the game. And yesterday they pulled it out. They came from behind and won. So like I said, I think he's earned it. He deserves it, especially for the White Sox. Um, you guys' thoughts or anything, or do you know? Remember? How do you remember Ozzy besides winning the World Series as a player?
Yeah, like you said, I do remember him slightly as a player. He was one of those iconics next to like Frank Thomas, Robin Ventura, um, Baines, stuff like that. So they are iconic players. And then even the newer, more modern guys from the World Series. AJ was at the ceremony,
Hmm.
Burley and whatnot. So definitely iconic White Sox players. Yeah, I'm kind of glad they retired him just because he's been such a part of the organization, not just as a player, but then moving on to manager analysis. So he's definitely been with the club for a long time. So I think he's deserving of it. I don't remember him being such a great player, but that just might be that I don't remember the White Sox back then as much as more the modern era when he was the coach, and the Burley and the AJs and Thomas and Urrubier. It was just like I remember more the more modern players. So he might have been the greatest player back from that generation, but yeah, I'm just glad that they did get to his retire his number. And like you said, his family was there. He did get emotional during the little parts that I've seen. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some more of it later this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, I what I remember him as a kid, the '83. I have some memories of it just because my dad and my uncles they watch. I mean, like you guys heard me talk. We watched a ton of baseball, and the '83 is what I think my earliest memories of watching that team with my dad and my uncles. So I remember them all through that in the 90s when they switched over uniforms a couple times. But by then he was getting up in age. And I'm trying to remember, I don't think they traded him. They let him go. I know he played somewhere else. I can't, it doesn't come to my head right now. But then he started coaching. And then when they brought him to manage the Sox, I was just like, I don't know about that. I was on the, I wasn't excited about that hire, but like he does, he proved me wrong and he won it, and for that I'll always be grateful. He brought something I think I would never see in my lifetime, especially after the 93-94 strike and the lockout and all that shit. And I think that team had its best shot of winning a World Series, and then the strike happened, or the lockout, and that pissed me off for a while. But yeah, I mean, it was good to see. It was a good thing to see. Noel, thoughts, or do you know anything about Ozzie?
Just remember in the 2000s, him
Yeah.
being the coach, and then yeah, I mean it was cool. I remember I went to a couple games with you guys, and it was my first experience watching baseball live, and he was the coach at the time, and the team was doing great, man. It was just big name after big name at that time, so it was cool. I don't know much about him as a player, but as a coach, I definitely respected what he did for the Sox.
I'll tell you this. He didn't break no stereotypes about Latino ball players and what people think of Latinos. He to say the least, he was controversial, especially as a manager. He's made a lot of comments and that got him in trouble. They got him in suspensions. He had his issues with some of the local reporters, the beat writers. But with that being said, he overcame all that and he won the World Series. And they did ask him in one of the interviews if he would come back to manage the White Sox, and he said, "I think he'll probably never manage because they're paying him to be uh, the post game and pre game analyst, and he says he's enjoying that role right now." So, like I said, he earned it. For the White Sox, he earned it because I don't think he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but he's a Hall of Famer with the White Sox.
Right.
So, and congratulations to him. The other thing that got my attention this week is there's this whole thing on the internet about the $20 burrito controversy. Have you guys heard about this or seen anything on social media?
No, not for me. It doesn't ring a bell. Sounds like a great burrito, but kind of
Mm.
expensive.
Noel.
No, I could have sworn I saw something in my YouTube feed
Yes.
about a burrito being like overpriced, but I didn't look
Yes.
into it.
So the whole thing starts from this college student was bitching about a burrito that they purchased, and it was close to or over $20. And it went into this whole affordability thing that's really big right now. We kind of talked about that earlier. We've talked about a lot in previous podcasts, but so they were saying like, how can a burrito cost over $20, right? Like this is ridiculous. And a lot of people made comments about the both positive and negative about inflation, affordability, foreign wars, all that stuff that we can all agree, right? Food prices have gone through the roof. You see constant posts and videos and TikToks about people trying to be frugal, save a buck here and there. The cost of eating out, especially fast food, McDonald's. Uh, I saw this whole thing about how McDonald's numbers have grown, even though their prices have gone. And they did this whole marketing thing about, well, they found out people Americans that with higher incomes stopped going to other restaurants and they started going to McDonald's because it's more affordable for them. So they started tweaking some of their food to get those clients where they could boost it up. And the people with lower income were used to get like a Big Mac and like fries and a drink. It used to be like 6, $7. Now it's like 15. And those people are getting some of that or some higher food, quarter pounder deluxe and all this stuff. And they started buying more to offset some of those people who stopped buying.
Mm,
But getting back to the burrito, so they went on this tirade about a burrito was $20. So it's not like a burrito from uh, the big chains that we know, right? We're not talking about like Taco Bell and Del Taco and all that. We're talking about pie. You know, Chipotle or something like that, where yeah, those burritos are expensive, and I don't know, I don't think they DoorDashed it, but if you DoorDash anything or get it delivered, it's even more money. But what I'm getting at is, so you starting to see comments on the both sides, like don't order it, right? Get a
right.
job, get a better job, do this and do that. And then you went on to people saying like, don't, this is the problem with America. Everything's expensive. Like how people, the average person can't afford this and they should expect to be paying half of that and all this. So this debate happened, and that got me to think like the old days, like if you wanted something, yeah, I mean, you had to work for it, right? Now there's this expectation of like, no, you deserve that, and it should be at what you want to pay. And when I was growing up, and there's things that we wanted, we couldn't get it, and there was a comment like, well, if you can't get it and it's too expensive, you eat ramen. We all done it. Eat something that you can afford, and as you grow, you're going to be able to get that food. So again, you're starting to see this. What I'm getting at is two Americas, where there's the people that think you should be able to get whatever you want and pay whatever you want. And there's people that just say, well, you just got to work harder. But we all know it's two extremes, right? So uh, I look at it as like, yeah, it's fucking expensive, $20 for a burrito. But if I would go, if you're going, I don't know how constantly they're going, but if you can't afford it, I'm just like, well, get something else or make something at the house. I'm kind of in that camp. And when you do go and get that $20 burrito, it's something that where you're like, yeah, I've earned this, and like where you're not like, should I pay my utility or my thing, or should I go enjoy this $20 burrito? Like, should I pay my electric bill or eat a $20 burrito? Or you could get a frozen burrito for like $1.50 and get that
Mm.
processed shit instead of this. So
Uh,
I don't know
How
what you
much?
guys' thoughts on that. You think people $20 is a lot? I mean, we've had the discussion when I go to Chipotle and I'm ordering a burrito bowl. It's like 15, $16 if you get a drink. And if you get a drink, it's a little bit more.
Yeah. So, how much do you think? Did you see said picture of this burrito?
No, I just read comments and some
Okay.
on Twitter stuff, but it wasn't no. I mean, you go to Taco Bell, you get a cheap beef burrito for like $7. I'm thinking it's been a
Right.
while since I've been there, but it wasn't $20. Everybody was making comments like, "Yeah, it was Chipotle."
Yeah. I guess speaking on deserving a more affordable burrito, it's just not the world we live in anymore. Everything's expensive. It kind of sucks. I'm not really sure how to correct it, but it is something that this generation is just going to have to get used to. My son yesterday, we went to Menards to go pick up some stuff that we needed, and as we're going, he's been wanting this impact tool for a while. And he keeps telling me, he's like, Dad, do you have it? Well, first he asked me if I had one a couple of months ago, and I'm like, no, I don't have one. I'm like, I'll probably buy one during Black Friday if there's some good deals. But every now and then he brings it up. He's like, oh, Dad, have you seen the impacts? Have you seen them? Have you seen them? So, anyways, we're at Menards. He's looking at them and he's seeing it. And he's like, oh, man, this one's pretty nice. And I'm like, yeah, if you got the money, go ahead and do it. And the first thing he does is open up his bank account and he's like, well, I got this payment I got to make. And then I got this payment. No, I'm going to have to wait another week or two to save up enough to buy this impact tool. So that is how you should do it. If a $20 burrito is outside of your price range because you got bills, then you can't have a $20 burrito. You have to go get that processed burrito at Taco Bell and risk getting some diarrhea shit and go eat some Taco Bell burrito. Yeah, it's just those are the choices that you have in this life. I mean, it kind of sucks, but that's how it is.
I think my quick 2 cents on this. I think we need to go back to the days where we made food at home and we bring it for lunch or whatever it is. Um, I think people become way too reliant on outside food, on fast food places and restaurants, etc. Somebody else making the food, right? And we expect it to be at the best quality at the lowest price just because. It's a little bit of an American entitled mentality. There are places in the world where people are starving, but thank God we have food here. And that's likely not going to happen as long as you have a job and you're able to support yourself. You're likely to be able to afford groceries. Now, when I see grocery prices start going up, that's when you're going to see me complain. But when a $20 burrito at an outside establishment, I'm not going to really complain about that too much because they have bills to pay too. They have overhead, they have workers to pay, insurance to pay out, 401ks, and all sorts of stuff that goes with a corporation like Chipotle, McDonald's, etc. So yeah, maybe there is scale, right, where they could buy in bulk and they get some discounts, but it still is very expensive to run a restaurant. So I expect them to charge more at a restaurant or at a, place like Chipotle. But as long as grocery prices are where they should be, I don't mind buying something and making it at home. Actually, later on today, I'm gonna make some Italian beef. So, I
Mm.
went and bought it at Jewel. I'm gonna bring it home rather than go to Portillo's and have one Italian beef for the same price. $20 Italian beef at Portillo's or 3 or 4 sandwiches from the Jewel, frozen bucket I bought. That's the trade-off. I had to put a little bit more work, but I'm gonna get more for it. So we have to think, people have to start bringing it back to that where it might be a little bit more inconvenient for your time or your effort, but you're going to get your money's worth. And so there's a trade-off. What do you want to do? Spend more on less or, put in a little effort and get more out of it?
Shit, Andy even saves even more money because he makes it from scratch. He gets the season packets, puts the meat in, he makes Italian beef from scratch.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And going back to what you said, no, I do have a theory of people relying, especially in America, right? Going to all these fast. At one time, it was like cheap, man. It was cheaper to eat out at like the fast food places than to eat at home. Like the dollar meal, dollar value meal, $5 sandwiches. Today, yeah, all that's gone. I mean, they try to put some value here and there, but and people got accustomed to that. And then when you do this, and then during COVID with door dashing and all this, and people got used to that. So they always had this choice of what they can eat. And now you see more and more videos and TikToks and stuff of people like, don't go to fast food, it's expensive. You can meal prep, right? That I hate that
Hmm.
word, but the guy was making like, all this stuff to eat for a week, like food and put freezing it and stuff like that. Like I could do stuff like that. I know people can't eat the same fucking meal every day. I did because I grew up poor. I mean, we had to. I think me and Danny talked at length. Now I knew why my parents bought what they bought when I was a kid because it was a money thing. And I used to think like, why are we eating this shit again? Like, but so I had to eat it because I wasn't working. I didn't have money, so I just ate it. But I get that now. But these kids today, they're used to just getting whatever the hell they want. Like hell, we used to work with somebody. They used to go out to eat every day with a family, right? He was telling us, oh, on this day, kids eat free at this place and this. I'm just thinking like, damn, that motherfucker must be rich. And this, I'm talking about now. This was like 10 years ago, right? Now, you imagine you go out to eat every day or 3 times a day, you're spending hundreds of dollars, man. Like if especially if you got a family. So that's what I'm saying. It's just the economics of restaurants is hard, and part of it is, oh, everybody needs a living wage. They made that happen. People get paid more. So guess what? You're gonna pay for that by going to eat. Now you're complaining that stuff's expensive. Well, part of the cost of that $20 burrito is the person who made it, who fought for a living wage, right? And now we're complaining about it. And so yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that trickles in. And guess what? Restaurants, all the business models that I've seen, and what I'm talking about business models is bar rescue. They have razor thin margins, and then they have those specials. So it's just nuts, man. And like I get it. Like I used to tell somebody, when you work at a restaurant, to me, it's always a entry level position. It's not meant to support your family, but as people started going to get more educated, they didn't want to work at those places. And you got people from south of the border, our ancestors and people that we know started working there, raising families, and then those people, they were complaining we can't raise kids on there, and the rage started going. People were empathetic to their needs, and now they got more money, but now everybody else is paying for that. Something that used to be $3, now you're paying $6 or $7, and now they're bitching about it. So can't have it both ways, man. That's what I'm thinking on that. But that's gonna take us into our article of the week. So yeah, let us know what you guys think on the $20 burrito, ffmquestions@gmail.com. But I picked this week's article. I found it interesting going on in the Economic Times. With my old ass, I'm always thinking about it. FBI agent is accused of stealing cryptocurrency. Um, the agent confessed to making I like the word unauthorized withdrawals from a criminal target overseas, according to court papers. An FBI counterintelligence agent has been charged with amassing about 1 million worth of cryptocurrency, largely by making unauthorized withdrawals from a criminal target overseas. They named the agent, who works in Washington, confessed that he had done what he had done after having a crisis of conscience, according to the affidavit filed in his case. Uh, he said he told others that he stole the cryptocurrency. He told an unnamed Justice Department employee about it because he was eating them up inside. He wanted to get it off his chest. But this is the part that I find funny. He's unsure how much money he had taken. And it was mixed with other personal assets, but told others it involved less than $1 million. When investors looked at his crypto wallet, where he had deposited the money, they found approximately $1 million. The agent claimed he began taking money around 2024, made a 10 to 12 withdrawals using a passphrase to the suspect's account that the FBI had obtained during an investigation of the individual. He said he was spinning out of control and was frustrated with that the FBI could not or would not act against the adversarial cryptocurrency accounts. And the article goes on what he did. So to me, two things that caught my mind, it's the federal government and crypto. So there's always there's this issue with people always say like, what's crypto? Especially old people, like this just some made up money, but we all know it does have value. And what caught me here is, one, the FBI got this guy's password, the guy they were monitoring, and two, they took this guy, this agent allegedly took he confessed to it. He took the money, excuse me, and took the money, and he had it was eating them up according to the article, but he still took the money. So now they think they claim they found $1 million. I'm starting to think they probably took more, and he moved it to other wallets or something. Um, so I'm thinking how much more in the feds or police agencies or law enforcement have taken this money, because once you start moving money around, there's a lot of scams, a lot of people in other countries taking money and moving it around to make a quick buck. So my thing is like, how bad is this? If this is just the tip of the iceberg. I know everything with crypto is always very hard to identify when you move stuff around. But you guys think, my question to you guys, do you think this is like a bigger issue, or this is like a one-time thing? Because the only reason they found out is because he came forward with it. He's like, I took this money and I'm it's eating me up. But I think there's a lot of this shit going on.
My quick theory, and this is just a theory, is that he's not the only one,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of people on the take, but maybe once you're part of that club of people that take and get involved with this stuff, maybe they ask for him to do some weird stuff, and they're like, if you don't, we'll just, throw you under the bus or whatever. And so he's like, preemptively, let me get ahead of this. Because I feel like that stuff happens all the time, man, in Hollywood and all sorts of different organizations. There's obviously a lot of conspiracy theories surrounding all this stuff. And so when this came up, I was like, okay, why would you have a issue with your conscience now? Like you've been
Yeah.
doing this since 2024. What changed? So yeah.
Yeah, to me, it's kind of weird. Like, where are the checks and balances on this? I mean, was this guy doing like a Superman 3 where they're taking the rounded off pennies amounts and so nobody
So
notices? Like is anybody noticing this money just disappearing? Like
yeah, the
who's
guy they were
checking it?
investigating probably knew, but what is he gonna do? Like, because it's money. I'm assuming that it's from illegal means. So they stole the money he stole is getting stolen from him. So who does he go to? And that's the whole thing where my that and where he got the password from. Like they got the password to get into his wallet, and that's how this money was moved. So there's a lot of shit going on. And I think like with Noel, this wasn't like pennies. He was taking thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So that's why they always tell you don't keep your wallet on the apps. Move it off site or offline and put it on a stick or something.
Yeah, it's kind of scary that, people could steal money like this and then not be aware. And to your initial question, yeah, I bet you it's more widespread and people are just not paying attention. I don't know.
But when big companies get held for ransom, like Sony and the Warner Brothers with the when stuff was getting leaked, like certain episodes. I don't know if you ever heard. Warner Brothers got this email from this hacker group saying if they don't get like all this crypto money, they're gonna release this and this. I think it happened with the last Airbender, that Nickelodeon show. I think they got hit up too with some money or something. They requested some money, crypto money, and I don't think they gave in to them. And they released the movie that was supposed to be due out in October. They released it in early summer, allegedly. But yeah, man, that's because crypto money. It's hard to identify the wallets. So that's why I'm saying like when you take money from criminal means and ask for crypto and they get stolen, that's the whole thing. It's like, who do you go to if this money was made in illegal means, like, and they're ripping you off? You're kind of screwed. Like, who are you gonna go to? Hey, FBI or FDIC, someone's stealing my money. Like, wait, but we're investigating you because you're taking crypto money for whatever drug deals or hacking or ransom request, whatever. So you're kind of like you're just hanging there. And
Right.
that's why that got me thinking like one, they got the password, and two, they just took it. And like, who do you go to like when you're the bad guy and they're ripping you off? So you're like kind of fucked. And they would never have caught it because they weren't looking for that. And the only reason they know about it is because he admitted it. And like you said, who's the checks and balances on monitoring all this crap? And now you're thinking like there really isn't?
Yeah, yeah. Once you're a crook, I guess you don't have any kind of legal recourse to try to, you know, keep the people honest that are ripping you off
It's
for sure.
it's like in all those mod movies where they're always like, "Oh yeah, man, who's he gonna go to? Fuck him. Let's just take it." And like they're the boss or this and that, and like that's exactly what happened here in real life. And it's just interesting, man. Like I'm thinking like black budgets, like the alphabet letters, agencies, FBI, CIA, NSA. DHL, like where's all this shit going to? Like, are they doing the same thing when all these other countries or they're investigating all these organized crime groups and they're taking all this money? And I'm like, who? It's like a slush fund for them or those companies or just that certain few have know about it and they're all making money. It's just it's a scary thing, to read about, and it's I don't know, man. Like you don't want to think the government's corrupt, but you know it, they are.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think it's crazy that so much money can go unaccounted for, and if this guy doesn't mention it, it just doesn't get
Yeah.
found. It's kind of crazy. And they say 1 million, but to his even acknowledgement, he really doesn't know how much he really stole. So that they could find 1 million, but who knows? Probably so much more. But everybody out there, this is all the time we have for today, man. So we'd like to thank you all for listening. Remember to follow Freeform Network on Facebook and X at Freeform Network. Send in those questions and suggestions, ffnquestions at gmail.com. Visit our webpage, freeformnetwork.podbean.com. There you're going to see a bunch of our old episodes in there. It's constantly growing, man. We're 270 something. So it's nonstop. As long as Andy has an opinion, we'll keep recording them.
Always.
So hit that subscribe and like. It really means a lot and it really affects our numbers, and we appreciate that. But for Freeform Radio, we got Noel.
Hey everybody, thank you for joining us on this one. I'm gonna have some Italian beef combo sandwiches. I'm gonna watch the 4K Stranger Things. I got the physical release, so I'll get you guys the review on that next episode.
Nice, nice. And we got Andy.
It's all good, Andy, and thank you guys for listening. Let us know what you guys think. If you're stealing crypto, let us know so we can steal it from you at ffnquestions@gmail.com and send your password in there too to your wallet.
Nice, nice. And this is Daniel. I hope everybody has a great week, and we will catch you on the next one.
That was cool, Dad.